Alright guys, let's look at number 1. What was the biggest common factor that they have? 16 is the biggest number, okay? Oh, wait.
16x.
Yep, 16x. There we go. Alright, let's see. Bernice, what is 64 divided by 16? 4. Alright, Cole, I had x to the 4th, but I took out one of those. So how many is left? X to the 3rd. Perfect. Alright, Jared, what's 48 divided by 16?
48 by 16.
Uh-huh.
3.
3. Perfect. Alright, Jada, I have an xy squared here, but I took out the x, so what's left with the 3? Y squared. Perfect. Do you see how the 4 and the 3 do not have any number in common besides 1? Do y'all see that? Hello?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so that's how I know that 16 is the biggest one. Alright, we're going to skip 2 for just a minute. What about number 3? What's the biggest number that goes into all of that? 2. And then do they all share a letter? A. Very good. Alright, Tyler, what's 26 divided by 2?
13.
13. Alright, Abby Wilson, I had an A and a B here. I took out an A, so what's left?
C.
A and a B.
Oh, I thought we just went the first one.
Yeah, we are on the first term. I have a B. Very good. Alright, Britton, I have 18 divided by 2. How many is that? That's 9. Very good. And Sabrina, I have an A and a C, and I took out the A, so what's left? Huh? No, this one right here. I have an A and a C. I took out the A, so what's left? C. Very good. All right, Danielle, what's 32 divided by 2? 16. And Juju, I had A squared. I took out an A, so what's left? An A. Very good. Y'all okay? All right, let's see. Number 5. What's the biggest number that goes into 24 and 18? 6. Very good. All right, what letters do they have in common? A and a B. Very good. All right, Savannah, what's 24 divided by 6? 4. Very good. All right, Jonathan, I had an A squared and a B squared. I took out an A and a B. So what's left? A and a B. Very good. All right, Andrew, I had 18 divided by 6. How much is that? 3. And I took out the A and the B, so that's it. Are y'all okay? All right. So let's talk about these problems real quick. So how many terms did number 2 have? Or did number 1 have? 2. How many terms did number 3 have? 3. And how many terms did number 5 have? 2. So if you have 2 terms or you have 3 terms, what way did we use? What 3 letters? G, C, F. So when we have 2 terms or 3 terms, which method do we use? GCF. But 2, 4, and 6, they don't have 2 or 3 terms. They have 4 terms. Do you remember what it was called when they had 4 terms? Grouping. Very good. Very good. We're going to do grouping for 2, 4, and 6. Alright, here we go. So what you do is you group the first 2 terms together. Alright, and this plus sign right here is really important, so you're going to keep that inside your parentheses when you do the next 2, okay? Alright, cover up the second set. What does the first set have in common? An A. Very good. So if you take out an A from just those 2, A minus 4C. Perfect. Alright, this guy right here is really important because that tells you what sign to bring down. It's a plus sign. Alright, so cover up the first 2. What did the second 2 have in common? A B. Take those out. What do you have left? There you go. And on your math workshop test on Monday, how do you know you did it correctly? No. I mean, yeah, you could. Did you? Very good. Inside the parentheses become the same, okay? So now I can factor that to the front. And when I factor it to the front, what two terms are left? A plus B, Jared. Very good. All right, let's look at number 4. All right, they have 4 terms, so I'm going to group them. Look at the first 2. Okay, now look, a lot of y'all are struggling about figuring out what the greatest common factor is. 21 is the smallest number, right? Think about the biggest number that goes into 21. 21. Does it divide into 84?
Yes.
Yes, it does. That's how you find the biggest one, okay? And then they have a k squared in common. So that would leave you with just a k minus 4. Y'all okay with that? All right, and this guy right here is really important because he tells you what sign to bring down. So you're going to bring down a plus sign. Okay, 15 and 16. Look at the smallest one, 15. What's the biggest number that goes into 15? 15. Does 15 go into 60?
Yeah.
Yes, you sound.
If you did 21k squared times k, going to be, I don't know.
That'd be 21k cubed. Okay. So what's the biggest number that goes into 15? 15. And it also goes into 60. So that would leave you with k minus 4. And you know you took out the right numbers because 1 and 4 only have 1 in common. And both the parentheses are the same, okay? So if you factor that to the front, you get k minus 4. But that's not my answer. You can reduce it. You can factor out what, Danielle?
3.
A 3. Look at the 21 and the 15. See how they're grouped together? And what number goes into both of them? 3. And it gets pulled all the way to the front. Then pull down the k minus 4. 21 divided by 3 plus 5. Very good. All right, one more, number 6. All right, here we go. Look at the first 2. You got 105 and 175. 105, the biggest number that goes into him is 105, right? But that doesn't go into 175, so that's not going to help us. Bless you. What else goes into 105? Bigger. I always want to start with the biggest one.
15.
Bigger than 15. You want to start as big as you possibly can. 25 does not go into 105. 35, does that go?
Yeah, it seems 3.
Does it go into 175? Yeah, it does. Alright, and then we have an n squared. Bless you. So what's 105 divided by 35?
23. Wait, hold on.
3. Very good. 3n. And what's 175 divided by 35? 5. Very good. Alright, and then this guy right here is really important because now I'm going to bring down a minus sign. Alright, 75 and 125. What's the biggest number that goes into both of them? 25. Very good. And this is where you have to be careful, okay? It's negative 75 divided by negative 25. How much is that? 3n. Very good. And then it's negative 125 divided by negative 25. Positive 5, okay? You know you did it right. Those two come out to be the same. And if I take those to the front, that leaves me with 35n squared minus 25. By 5, Jared. Very good. 35 and 25 can bring a 5 to the front. So 35 divided by 5 is 7. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Y'all okay? Okay. All right. So we're gonna do one problem together, and then we're gonna do a whole bunch with our partners, and then we have to finish it off by finishing our checkpoints because what is tomorrow? A what? Not a test, no.
Quiz.
A quiz is tomorrow. Sent it out yesterday to you in the remind. Alright, so we are on, what are we on, page 5? Okay, so what do you think your quiz is on tomorrow? Look at your learning targets. What's your quiz on tomorrow?
Equations by graphing, substitution, and elimination.
Very good. You're going to solve systems of equations using graphing, substitution, and elimination. Alright, so we're going to do 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8 according to the board. And then if you flip over on the next page, we're going to do 14. And then we're going to do 15. We're going to talk about 15 first, and then you're going to finish 15 out, okay? All right, let's do 2. Most of you are probably going to need a piece of paper because I don't think most of us can squeeze these in because I really didn't give you a whole lot of room. So you might want to grab a piece of paper. All right, Joseph, can you read us number 2, please? Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take this sentence and we're going to write it, We're going to write it into equation and then either use substitution or elimination, right? Because graphing is probably not going to help us. So, what's the very first number they give us?
131.
Before that, the very first one. 8 senior citizen tickets, right? And we need to use an appropriate letter. X and Y would not be very good to use. Probably S, right? So we have an 8S. And guys, if they sold tickets, am I going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? I'm going to add. Very good. And then what's the next number they gave us?
7.
7 what? 7 child, so 7C. And a total means it's going to equal 131. And that's the end of that sentence, so that's the end of that equation. All right, then we're going to look at our next sentence because it's going to give us our next equation. And it says that the school took in $116. What does that mean? In my equation, they took in $116. That does not mean they subtracted.
That's what it equals.
That's what it equals. Very good. Okay, and you have 8 senior citizen tickets and 4 child tickets. So how do I write that? 8S plus 4C. Perfect. Now, what learning target told us that if we had the same number with the same letter, we could eliminate them? Elimination. Very good. So how do I eliminate those? You would subtract. Very good. Because 8 minus 8 is 0. Okay, so you have 7 minus 4, which is 3C, and you have 131 minus 116. How much is that? 15. Very good. Divide by 3, and you get a child ticket is $5. Very good. So on the side, we need to write us a sentence. A child ticket is $5. But then we had another kind of ticket we used. Senior citizen tickets. So what do I do with that 5? Which one you want to do? I'm probably going to do the bottom one because it's easier, right? So I have 8S plus 4, but I'm not going to put C. I'm going to put 5 equals 116. And then what's 4 times 5? 20. And then how do I get him to the other side? Subtract. So 8S is equal to 96. So what's S equal? 12. So here we go. A child ticket is $5, and a senior citizen ticket is $12. Y'all okay? Pretty easy stuff, right? All right, we're going to get some good elimination work in today before our quiz tomorrow. So, just in case we don't have time to finish checkpoints, when could you come in tomorrow to finish your checkpoint up? 0 period, or as soon as the bell rings, come in here for 7th period and we'll finish it up before your quiz. So, find your partner, and we are working 4, 6, 7, 8, and 14. So, 5 problems. I'm going to give you 15 minutes. So how many minutes a piece is that? 3 minutes. Go. Stop at 14, okay? 4, 6, 7, 8, and 14. Find your partner. Work with your partner. Now don't let me forget I have your test and hand back to you as well. You're going to need your calculator, so make sure you have it, okay? Okay, did y'all get $3 for a daylily and $6 for ornamental grass? We good so far? All right, keep going. Let's see what we can do on 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, 8, and 14. Sure you write a sentence. You're going to get credit on your test. Okay, did y'all get $7 for a child ticket and $6 for a senior citizen? Yes. Okay. All right, keep going on 7, 8, and 14. 7, 8, and 14. Okay. Okay, so for number 7, did you get $8 for lemon meringue pies and $6 for blueberries? Yeah. Okay, so we got 2 left. We got 8 and 14, and we have about 4 minutes left.
You don't have to, like this one, if you want to, you can do substitution. But I wouldn't do substitution unless I have a mother that's, that kind of number with it. Yes, yeah.
Alright, we finished with 8, go on to 14. You're going to do 14 today, okay? So 8 and 14 left.
Okay, you need to get these 2 weeks in. And then 3 some 6. So I'm on the phone, I'm not looking, just stop.
Alright, let's check our work for number 8 real quick. Check your answers, check your answers. Should have gotten $4 for a child ticket and $8 for a senior citizen. Are we okay with that one? Okay, 14, I think you're going to get some kind of big numbers, but it's okay because you have a calculator. Just use your calculator, okay? Use your calculator. not mean to sling that at you, Brent.
Sorry.
Thank you. Sorry about that. All right, 14. Did you get $16 for a large box? And $10 for a small? We get that? Some of us? Okay. Am I lost? Okay, let's talk about 15 real quick. So go ahead and stop what you're doing. Let's talk about 15. That way we can at least set it up. All right, 15. You got a plane traveled 836 miles each way. That doesn't mean round trip. That means he went 836 miles one way and 836 miles the next way, right? Y'all okay with that? Yeah? All right, so that means that each one of our equations will be equal to the total miles, which is how much? 836. There you go. Are y'all okay with that so far? All right, so in every other problem, we compared two things. We either compared blueberry pies with meringue pies, or a child ticket with a senior citizen ticket, or a large box with a small box, right? Y'all okay? All right, read the last sentence, because that's where you're always comparing. What two things are we comparing with 15? Speed of what?
The plane.
The plane. So what do you want to call what letter do you want to use for plane?
In.
Huh? Let's use a P for a plane. All right, so we're going to have the speed of the plane, and we're going to have the speed of what? The wind, right? So what do you want to call that? W? All right, so look what it says. It wants you to find in still air. Guys, that already tells you one of your answers. What's one of your answers going to be? 0, because it's still air, right? So let's talk about this first. So you have a trip with the wind. So what's with the wind mean? Is that going to help us or is it going to hurt us? It's going to help us, which means what operation would we use? Addition. There you go. But on the trip back, it was into the wind, so the wind's flying at their face. So is that going to help them or hurt them? Hurt them. So what operation would we use? Subtraction, okay? Are y'all okay so far? All right, so we're gonna treat this like an Algebra 2 problem, not like a calculus or a physics problem, some craziness, right? We're gonna keep these pretty basic. And what number was it talking about with the trip there? 11. So we're gonna talk about 11 with the speed of the plane here, because it took 11 hours with the speed of the plane, and it took 11 hours with the speed of the wind, right? So we can figure out that. And then what was the hours on the way back? So we got 19 hours with the speed of the plane and 19 hours with the speed of the wind. Are y'all okay? Now, one of your answers is going to be 0. The other answer you should get should be 60. So you should get 0 and 60. Can a plane really function at 60 miles per hour? No. But if you notice, these are already huge numbers, and I was trying to keep your numbers, like, not ridiculous. So just keep that in mind. Are y'all good? You're going to get some pretty large numbers, so you're going to need to use your calculator. So take about 2 minutes, use your calculator, and see if you can get the answer of the speed of the wind was 0 and the speed of the plane was 60, okay? See if you can try that real quick on 15. 15. Okay. Anybody having issues? Anybody need me to help them?
When I did it, I got 16. Another answer, I got 60. I got 16. Well, it's the speed of the plane is still there. The plane's going at 60 miles per hour in the air.
Maybe still
No, like without the air, like forcing it back.
yeah, there can be like no wind. There would be no wind. So
We were talking about the wind would be. We're talking about the plane.
Hold on, let me think. Hold on. The speed of the plane is still air. And the speed of the wind.
I thought 0 and 60.
Okay. I did a calculation wrong. Should have gotten 16. Hold on. 836 times 11. 1 second, guys. I think I just typed in a number wrong on my paper. So you should have gotten 418 or 418 P is equal to 6,688. Is that what you got so far, Abby?
Yes.
No?
I didn't.
So
You added. Okay, I'm doing a different one here. Let me see which one you did. You added 1584 plus 9196 divided by 418 is 60. Okay.
alright, hold on. So first thing you do is subtract. You said the speed of the wind was 60. Oh, I thought you meant the speed of the plane. I thought you were talking about where the speed of the plane was 60 was from. Speed of the plane should be 60. Yeah, okay. Then I made that calculation wrong on the speed of the wind. That's why I was couldn't figure out what was going on. Yes, okay. So you should get 16 and 0 and 60. 15 and 60.
So the speed of the plane should be 60 miles per hour, and the speed of the wind. So this is wanting the speed when they're flying, not in the still air. 16 miles per hour. That's what you should get. All right. Checkpoints. We should have checkpoints in the tray. So go ahead and slide your desk back where they need to be. We've got about 7 minutes left to finish checkpoint. If you don't finish your checkpoint, when should you come in to finish it before your quiz tomorrow? 0 period. Yeah, you just need to plug it back in to get the speed of the air. I just didn't read it right. You should do that in 0. I was looking at my work and reading it right. Don't mess with my stuff. This thing's all cockeyed. All right, and then I'm going to hand back your tests while you're working on your checkpoints real quick. 1 minute.
Okay.